The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. Monday morning, 60 minutes ago until that opening bell. And jumping in here, pulling up a little bit of action we have in here. We're going to pull up our futures. Right now, you get the S&Ps in positive territory. A nice start overnight, 85 points in the green, trading at 25.69. NASDAQ up 274 points, trading at 77.96. And we've got the Dow up 720, trading at 21,667. Jumping over to the charts, we'll start things off. And we'll start off with the Dow 30. You see the pop from Friday action, closing out the week at about 20,922. You trade higher right out of the gate. We reached this level at about 1:30 in the morning, and the market's kind of just been hanging up there since then. The Dow trading 21,676. NASDAQ 100, pretty similar story, just under 7,800 right now. Made it up to a high of 78.66, currently trading 77.95. There's your S&P 500, 25.68. We closed out last week at about 24.60. So you're talking about a solid 108 points right there from where we were just as we were coming into the close on Friday. Crude oil, talk about some volatility. You trade higher through last week. We close out the week at almost $29. Oil opens at $26 after news breaks out that talks not going as well as they would hope between the Saudis and the Russians. Gold trading higher. Check out that run. Gold closing out last week at about $14.50. Quite a run for gold last week. Looks like we're going to continue that trend. You get the gold contract trading at $16.71 right now, and the euro US dollar under 108. The euro trading at 107.85. In terms of the stories out there, the numbers on the coronavirus COVID-19, total confirmed 128,000, total death 70,000. The U.S., remarkable numbers, 337,000 confirmed, total deaths about to hit 10,000. The president talking about this week and next, maybe the toughest. Florida, they're talking about you could see a peak in early May, so this extending things. Those are your numbers. Some of the stories out there, you have Jamie Dimon warning we're getting a bad recession plus financial stress like the 2008 crisis. So Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, released his widely read annual letter this morning. We have the resources to emerge from the crisis as a stronger country. I would agree with that. Dimon said in the letter, America is still the most prosperous nation in the world has ever seen. While the leader is fresh off a record year for revenue and profit, Dimon warned the bank's earnings will be down meaningfully in 2020 because of the coronavirus. That should not be that surprising. Where are we? That's what I want to get in light of. We are the most prosperous. This curve, pretty dicey, folks. The U.S. above all the others. Days after 100th confirmed case, as we climb to 300,000, that curve, maybe you make a case that it's somewhat starting to flatten, but that is going to rise dramatically. And when you look at the logarithmic scale on the left-hand side, you hit this bar here, you're talking about 500,000, as this is a log scale, not a constant scale on the y-axis there. Pretty tough numbers. Jumping into the stocks making moves today. There we go. We'll start off with Zoom. They got downgraded. Quite an acceleration Zoom has had. Zoom, the talk of the world as everybody is video conferencing. Credit Suisse downgrading the video communications platform company to underperform from neutral, saying the current share price reflects greater conversion to paid usage than will actually occur. I myself have not jumped on the Zoom bandwagon yet, but there you see the pop from where we were on Friday. We were down at about 127. You're going to open at about 113. A little bit of a longer time frame. Check out that pop. Now keep in mind, you're going to open at about 113, which is where I am on the chart right now. Talk about a parabolic move, folks. That began March 17th. You traded up to 165. You're going to lose $50 of that. You're going to be 30% plus off of the top there on Zoom when trading resumes this morning. Slack Technologies, the provider of the workplace messaging platform, announced a $600 million debt offering due in 2025. The convertible into cash, stock, or a combination of both, depending on the holder's preference. Their symbol, WORK. And we closed at 24.26, and we're going to open pretty much right in that area. You see the volatility. They made it all the way back up to where they were before the coronavirus collapse in the market. You're talking about 50% down and then a complete rebound, 100%. That would be from 15 to 30, working at about 24.26. Whoops. JetBlue, so they're burning through $10 million a day as it deals with the coronavirus outbreak, according to their CEO. He told employees in a memo that only 7,000 customers per day are flying right now, as opposed to the typical 120,000. The other side of that, right? 7,000? That's a lot of people flying right now. That's it seems like it almost goes to nothing. But there's JetBlue. We're going to open in the same range, but 21 down to 6. Rebounded to 12, but as we've trailed off, $7.48 for JetBlue. Delta, their CEO, told employees the airline is preparing for a 90% revenue drop for the second quarter. We know we still haven't seen the bottom. Separately, Berkshire Hathaway disclosed that it had sold 18% of its shares. So Berkshire finally saying maybe enough's enough, and they don't want to wait out the rebound or the bailout that those airlines may need. So they sold 18% of the shares in Delta, 4% of the holdings in Southwest. Jumping over to those shares. Delta shares, tough run as well, closed at 22.48. But check out, this does have some pre-market action as it trades lower, gets a rebound, but still going to open almost $1.50 lower from where we were on Friday. And Love as well, Southwest, LUV. And you see the drop lower on that, but it's actually rebounded to be almost even to where we opened from Friday. Staying with the airlines, United and American both announced further reductions in flights to the New York City area, one of the current hotspots. I mean, who is flying in and out of New York unless it is so essential, folks? And since we took a look, let's take a look at United. Similar action on the airlines. And American, yeah, similar action as well, actually opening a bit lower. Wells Fargo, it was capping its participation in the government's coronavirus loan program at $10 billion due to regulatory constraints, which cap its assets at $1.95 trillion. So I saw this story earlier, and I originally thought, here we go, that Wells Fargo is going to say we need to be bigger to be part of this program, even though they have all of these regulations in place because of their past behavior, and they're going to look to expand under the premise that they are needed to do that. And I just, and I want to get that money out. So I'm not going to say that there's no way that should happen, but we should be very cautious allowing a company like Wells Fargo to grow exponentially, possibly, through this program when realistically they've shown no goodwill to deserve that at all. And Wells Fargo, WFC, getting a pop to 27.23, probably on that they were capped and they're doing well. You jump back, though, to where this stock has been, and you're talking about a collapse from $54 that began in January down to 26, let alone you put it on a little longer time frame from 66, as things have really escalated over the last couple of years for Wells Fargo. Jumping back to the equities making headlines, we'll finish this round out with Boeing extending the suspension of its Washington state production operations, declined to say when production might resume. Boeing, talk about some woes and some volatility. You're going to open higher today, though. We'll put this on a shorter time frame. 131 closed last week at 124. Last Thursday was down at 120. Stay tuned, folks. Be coming back after the break. We'll see what else we have on tap on Monday trading. We get the S&Ps positive by 88, Dow positive by 731. We'll be right back.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the Tax Opportunity Zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profit in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Market's ticking up a bit. S&P's positive by about 91 now. You get the Dow positive 764, NASDAQ positive by 286. Jumping over to the VIX, volatility index pulling back quite a number, 4461. We didn't see under 45. We actually ended the week at literally almost a low tick in the VIX. Ending that out at 4680, opening even lower today as this market just continues to climb higher, putting this on a little bit of a longer time frame, even a year, to see this recent run up. Quite a V formation in the forming, and I believe that this might have been an erroneous tick there, so disregard that. Quite a rise up, quite a rise back, 4460. The VIX trailing off, almost cutting in half from $85. Jumping around to some of the FANG stocks today to see how we're trading, putting this on a shorter TAM. You got Amazon going to open higher. Check out that pop. Amazon going from under 1900, just above that level on the close on Friday. Actually was trading above 1960 this morning, 1941, of course. The market up, let's see, what are we approaching, 4% now? Market S&P's up about 3.65%. Some of the other FANG stocks, Apple shares, going to open at 251, closed in the 241 ballpark. You got Facebook shares closed at 154. We were trading at a low 150.83 on Friday. Oh, and what just happened to Facebook? You see that drop? I think that just happened as we were looking at this. Let's put this on a minute. Did that just tick down? It sure did. Facebook was trading at 160 the whole time. We just dropped $6 to 154 where we were as of Friday. That's a minute chart. Interesting. Just happened to pull that up in the context. Putting this back on a 15-minute for some context in the other charts. Google shares going to open at about 1136. Microsoft shares will wrap it up. Going to open almost 160, one from 153. Boeing we covered. 131 from 124. Disney I like to take a look at. Some volatility in terms of what happens with them in terms of ESPN. Disney movies, the parks. We got Disney, of course, in Orlando, about 45 minutes from where I am right now. All of that shut down. All of those workers, of course, I mean, I think it's something like 130,000 employees, actors of some sort in the park to make that happen on a daily basis. Disney from 94 to 97. Some of the ride-sharing companies checking in on from 2282 to 9406 for Uber. Lyft shares from 22 to 23. I mean, these stocks have rebounded nicely, just for some context. And if you're looking to be a long-term buyer in these, it's going to be another opportunity. I mean, Lyft, for instance, it was down to under 15, back to 30. We're now down to 23. Uber shares in particular, they're the leader. They're the ones that came out and said they're going to have $4 to $6 billion when this is all said and done a year, even if business just craters for the next for this current fiscal year. They imagine they'll have $4 billion plus $2 billion in revolving credit. You go from 13, you make it up to the range of 28. You hang up there for 4 or 5 days. You're now trading at 24.06 in Uber, Lyft. Some of the staples, Procter & Gamble. Talk about some volatility. These stocks, right, from 121, and this is just on the last 20 days, let alone. There's your real volatility. The market just kind of not able to figure out whether a company like Procter & Gamble is going to benefit from the shelves of the supermarkets just disappearing, or if they're going to be hurt by the economic harm going on from nobody working and people losing their jobs. But quite a rebound from 94 to 115. You're going to open today at about 117.40. Starbucks shares, they were hit really early on because their base is in China. So they, when it just thought that maybe it would just stay in China, maybe Starbucks would be impacted. You see the start of that on January 24th. You see the real collapse on February 19th. Our markets from March 3rd, 81 to 50 to 63, going to open at about 65. McDonald's, quite the drop from, I mean, you almost got cut in half here from 220 to 124. McDonald's is going to be around, folks. They got some woes for sure, like everybody else being in it. But one of the companies, even if they're doing 20% of their normal business in drive-through or something like that, maybe they're just able to stay alive. Quite a haircut from 220 to 124, back up at about 160 for McDonald's. Other stories out there, CVS, they're launching drive-through rapid testing in Rhode Island and Georgia. CVS Health launching 2 new drive-through coronavirus testing locations using Abbott Labs rapid COVID-19 test. They're available to patients who meet testing, CDC and state guidelines. The new sites in Georgia and Rhode Island at CVS stores, large parking lots that can accommodate multiple lanes of cars. It hopes to perform up to 1,000 tests a day as we try and get over this and eliminate this COVID-19 virus from us completely. That type of testing, so it's not infecting other people, going to be monumentally important. CVS, from 55 to 57.30, they're basically just trading with the market this morning, getting a bit of a pop. Quite a drop last week from 60 down to 55 on the beginning of Thursday action for CVS. And so as I'm talking about here, we're getting Bank of America sees booming rescue loan demand with applications for nearly 10% of the allotment. Good. That's great. We want that money out, folks. Bank of America, 2094. We're going to open about a buck higher from 2003. We'll jump to JP Morgan. Why not? We started off the program with Jamie Dimon talking about that things could be pretty rough like 2008. JP going from 84 to 87.82. And while we're at it, well, let's click on this, see what we actually have to say here in terms of the details. The bank confirmed that it received applications from 177,000 small businesses for a total of $32.6 billion in financing. The current Bank of America numbers are its applications and do not represent the applications and sums the Small Business Administration has approved. Nonetheless, a big number, nearly 10% of the entire amount allocated by Congress, Bank of America themselves has already received applications for. Good. We'll take that opportunity, folks. With that, say if you haven't watched the front page of TFNN, we're going to take this down at the end of today. It'll still be available on our YouTube page, always is. But check out the Tom O'Brien Show. We may put it in another slot because it's important enough. In terms of last week, here's your segment. If you want a $10,000 loan that you can receive within 72 hours and it does not have to be repaid if you meet certain conditions, some of those conditions, keeping your employees on the payroll, but nonetheless, that is forgiven. It turns into a grant if you're able to do that. So you get the money, you're able to keep people on the payroll, and then it is forgiven. That's basically the gist of it. There's how you watch the YouTube clip for that segment. The next segment for the loans, which can be a longer term loan, same thing. These a lot of these are forgivable, folks. So, and then links to the actual Chamber of Commerce, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan application, the link directly right here, and then general information from the Small Business Administration. It's just that simple. Head on over there. You click that link, you get brought right to the YouTube page. Already almost 5,000 people have watched that video, which is great news. So hopefully some of those some of those people watching, some of the 177,000 applying for that relief loan/grant from the Small Business Administration. So check that out on the front page if you haven't. And check out, we got two things. Basil Chapman, he is going to be having a webinar 9 days from right now, all-day webinar. I encourage you to check it out, folks. It's an all-day webinar, $395. If you're already a opening call subscriber, you can get a month of your subscription free. If you sign up, you get a month free of the opening call. So you get 30 days of his subscription, $128 value right there. This will be archived, and it's from 9 till basically 4:30. There'll be a lunch break, 2 3-hour sessions with a half-hour wrap-up after the close, and he's going to be talking about the technical tools that give you buy and sell signals. He's going to alternate choices with the people attending, what you want to look at, the stocks you want to look at, how you want to trade them, how you initiate and stay in trades, and each technique discussed, practiced in real time. Check that out, folks, because you get, I'll go over it and I'll finish it up when we come back, but he's going to send you his book on the Chapman Wave, that emailed booklet, immediately to start getting ready when you sign up. We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated folic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. S&P is approaching 100 points in the positive, up 94 points at 2576, approaching 4% in the green. Dow up 796. How about Tesla? We're going to open above $500 if we opened right now. 504 last week, coming out with their earnings, going from 446 to 547. That's after hours trading on Thursday. Friday, pulling back and giving up a lot of those gains. But today, up at 504 right now. Jefferies upgrading Tesla, predicting nearly 30% comeback and return to energy efficiency post-crisis. Tesla just keeps rocking. You had Europe markets bouncing, cheered by gradual slowdown in new coronavirus cases. The Stoxx 600 up 3%. You had the FTSE up more than 2%, DAX up about 4.5%, and the CAC roll up 3.46. Checking in on bonds as we approach 9 a.m. this morning. That yield 0.64%. Bonds, I mean, this is a longer term, even just for some context. There's your 5-day. We'll slide this over to give us the current. We were as low on Friday. That's Friday afternoon, folks, at 0.58. But as this market has clawed back, we've seen the yield now rise to 0.64. Pretty interesting action in those bonds. So we wrap things up, checking in on commodities. Crude oil, talk about some volatility. As I mentioned, was up to 29, right now at 27.17, open at about 26, and we're going to finish it out with, well, you know what, we haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. I was going to say finish it out with gold, which we will. We'll pull up gold. But how about get Bitcoin? Friday made it up to 7,300. We were just down. That's Thursday, 7,300. We were just down at basically 6,700. We're at 7,200. You want some volatility? How about that for some volatility in Bitcoin? Trading down with the market, but rebounding from 4,210 to 7,200. And as we said, let's check in on gold. There's some volatility for you in this recent acceleration. 1704 down to basically, what is the low here? The low is 1450. We're going to be at about 1678 in the price of gold. Stay tuned, folks. Larry Pesavento live at 9. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. Fast Market at 11. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien all this afternoon. Don't forget Basil on the front page of TFNN.com, April 15th. Check it out right now. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.